All right, so today we're diving into a head-to-head comparison between two of the most talked about smartphone gimbals on the market. That's the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P and the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. And before we get started, I actually want to be completely transparent with you guys and let you guys know that this is actually sponsored by DJI, which is kind of weird for a comparison video, but here's the thing. I specifically told them that I'd be giving my honest and unfiltered opinion, not only to you guys, but to them. In fact, I think having DJI watching this video is the perfect opportunity to provide constructive feedback that could honestly help improve future Osmo products for all of us. Now let's start with the design and build quality between these two gimbals. To be honest, there are a ton of similarities. For one, there's solid build quality on both of them. They're both made out of premium plastics. Both of them have extension rods and also built-in tripods. Despite the physical aspects of these gimbals being very similar, there are a couple key differences, small but significant in my opinion. There's actually this cool little selfie mirror on the Insta360 which helps with framing and filming yourself with the rear camera, which is small but very, very valuable. There's also actually a couple key differences when it comes to the tripods on these gimbals. The Flow 2 Pro actually has a wider stance on the tripod, which makes it a little bit more sturdy, so that way it isn't easily tipped over. Not only is the stance wider, but this tripod appears to be made out of metal. And despite the fact that the OM7P isn't as sturdy, it actually does have a pretty cool quick release system for the tripod legs, allowing you to pull all three out simultaneously and quickly stand it up. Now, of course, when it comes to these lollipop style smartphone gimbals, we really can't reinvent the wheel. The overall shape and construction and build materials are very similar between these two gimbals. Where there are some differences is in the interface. On the OM7P, you have the small display which displays your gimbal modes, and also you have the joystick as well as the side scroll wheel. On the Flow 2 Pro, it actually looks a bit more minimal and kind of futuristic in my opinion. You have a single scroll wheel around and also the joystick in the middle. And when it comes to which one I personally prefer, I have to lean more so towards the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P, simply because I like the extra scroll wheel. If I want to use it two-handed, I don't have to worry about having to scroll it with one hand as well as, operating the gimbal. Also, I do like the joystick on the OM7P a little bit more. I feel more confident in, controlling it versus the kind of pancake style joystick that's on the Flow 2 Pro. Now let's talk about some of the key features that these brands put on the website and blast in all their marketing materials. Some of the things that we should pay attention to as consumers. Of course, the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P is rocking their new ActiveTrack 7.0 as automated shooting modes, and also it includes the multifunctional module, which is very big in the standard package because you actually have to buy that separate when it comes to the Flow 2 Pro, and it gives you the ability to use the gimbal in a multitude of applications with hand gestures and all that there, but that's included in the package with the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P. Also, another huge benefit when it comes to getting the OM7P is the fact that you can record professional audio with the Mic Mini. It actually pairs directly to the module, so if you already have a Mic Mini or you're looking to get a Mic Mini, or you're looking to take your cinematography and videography more seriously and get professional audio to go along with your stable footage and your good video footage, then the OM7P is probably a no-brainer for you. And another update that's actually fairly new is the fact that you can actually pair the Mic 2 to it as well, so you can get that higher quality 32-bit float DJI Mic 2 paired to your gimbal, your smartphone gimbal now as well. So if you already have the Mic 2, you want a smartphone gimbal to pair your Mic 2, the OM7P can now do that through the update. Now let's talk about stabilization and performance. Now when it comes to the core functionality of the gimbal, which is stabilization, both of these gimbals actually perform pretty much identical. I actually think it's kind of hard to find a bad gimbal out there. They've been pretty rock solid for a long time, but you'll get nearly identical results. And considering neither gimbal can compensate for the Z-axis when you're walking, how good that final result is mostly comes down to you as the operator, how stable you are. If you can get your ninja walk down, if you can be precise and cognizant of your movements, especially that Z-axis, that's going to really impact how good or bad your footage is. On the Osmo Mobile 7P side, it's equipped with DJI 7th generation stabilization and ActiveTrack 7.0, and it offers precise subject tracking without needing a dedicated application. And with the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, it features a Deep Track 4.0, enabling intelligent, responsive tracking, including multi-subject tracking and improved motion detection. It introduces active zoom tracking as well, which allows you up to 15 times zoom while maintaining smooth tracking for moving subjects. And like I touched on earlier, it actually does feature 360-degree infinite pan tracking, offering uninterrupted rotation for dynamic shots. And here's my final verdict when it comes to stabilization between these two gimbals. As I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for, base level stabilization, some pans, some tracking, some push-ins, some pull-outs, just to get your storytelling and capture the moment, you really can't go wrong with either of these gimbals. They've been getting it right for a very long time, and you're gonna get some stable footage out of both of these. So I have to get the edge when it comes to stabilization and the creative dynamic shooting scenarios to the Flow 2 Pro because of the 360-degree capabilities, on each angle and axis. Now let's talk software and app experience. DJI's Mimo app continues to be one of the most polished experiences in the market. The interface is intuitive and the features like ActiveTrack 7.0 work seamlessly. Insta360's app brings some innovative features to the table, particularly in the AI editing department. Automated editing suggestions can be real time saving for, content creators or people that just want to make something real quick for social media. Now, with that said, the DJI Mimo app does offer various shooting modes and also quick editing tools, so that way you can, get something out of it. And this is where it kind of gets unfair with Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. They actually are really killing it when it comes to software. It has integrated Apple Dock Kit, so that way you can enable native tracking in over 200 iOS apps, including the iPhone's built-in camera. It also does feature a built-in teleprompter, which, especially if you're doing, something like I'm doing right now, talking to camera, if reading off a script, or teleprompter is really, really huge to have built into the camera app itself. That's pretty dope. Now, when it comes to battery life and charging, both, use USB-C. The AI module with the fill light will actually drain the battery on both of these gimbals, depending on how bright you have your fill light and how often you're using the AI module. Your battery will definitely take a hit. Both of them are rated to be about 10 hours of battery life. While both gimbals do sit in a similar price bracket, they offer different value propositions. The Osmo Mobile 7P includes the module in the standard packaging, while the Flow 2 Pro does not, making you pay an additional $40 in the States. So which should you honestly choose? Both gimbals have their strengths, and the choice really depends on your specific need. If you own the DJI Mic 2 or the Mic Mini, the Osmo Mobile 7P is probably your best bet for capturing professional audio to pair with your stable footage. Given the fact that Insta360 doesn't make mics, you have to pair with their gimbals. That's a pretty huge benefit for the Osmo Mobile 7P, and that's weighted for me personally. I value audio almost on the same level as video. And DJI, if you're watching this, which I know you are, here's my wish list for the next Osmo Mobile. Integrate the pairing of mics into the handle versus needing the module. Also, given the fact that the module is included, it's not a huge deal, but it would just be nice to not have, extra wires or anything like that. Just have it all baked into the handle. Also, if you can, give me the full 360-degree rotation on all axes, the remote control from another phone, the teleprompter, ProRes and log support in the application. That's pretty huge. If you guys could add that through software or just an update, please get on that. But that's it for today's comparison. Let me know in the comments which gimbal you prefer and why. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more honest tech reviews. Hit the notification bell, stay up to date. But yeah, it's been a pleasure as usual. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, stay fresh. Peace.